Farrar Elementary, a school with a rich history that dates back decades, has been a staple in the community for generations. Its stone walls, weathered by time and etched with the passage of countless seasons, have witnessed students come and go, their laughter and footsteps absorbed into the very foundation. Yet, with its age comes an unsettling legacy, whispers of stories shrouded in mystery and laced with dread. The school's imposing structure, with its Gothic arches and labyrinthine corridors, seems to pulse with secrets, as if the building itself is alive, murmuring tales of the past to those who dare to listen. For thrill seekers and ghost enthusiasts, Farrar Elementary is not just a school, it's a portal to the unknown, a place where the veil between the living and the dead feels unnervingly thin. The haunted reputation of Farrar Elementary is not a recent phenomenon. It has been built over decades, fueled by numerous reports of ghost sightings and inexplicable events that defy rational explanation. Students and staff, both past and present, have recounted chilling encounters that linger in their minds long after they've left the school's grounds. Shadowy figures glimpsed in the periphery are said to dart through the hallways, particularly in the suffocating stillness of night. Doors slam shut with no apparent cause, their heavy echoes reverberating through empty corridors like a warning. Disembodied voices, sometimes whispers, sometimes cries, have been heard drifting from abandoned classrooms, their words unintelligible but unmistakably human. Among the most infamous tales is that of the Watcher, a spectral figure described as tall and cloaked in shadow, with hollow eyes that seem to pierce through flesh and bone. Witnesses claim this entity roams the school, its presence felt as a cold weight on the chest, as if it guards secrets too dark to be uncovered. The school's history, stretching back to its founding in 1903, is steeped in tragedy, providing fertile ground for these spectral tales. Built on land once used as a makeshift hospital during a smallpox outbreak in the late 19th century, Farrar Elementary was erected over soil soaked in suffering. Local records hint at mass graves beneath the school's foundation, where victims of the epidemic were hastily buried when the hospital overflowed. Over the decades, the school itself became a stage for misfortune. A fire in 1927 claimed the lives of two young students trapped in a storage room, their screams reportedly heard by rescuers who arrived too late. In the 1950s, a janitor named Amos Reed vanished without a trace after working a late shift. His tools were found neatly arranged in the boiler room, but he was never seen again. These events, documented in faded newspaper clippings and oral histories, lend credence to the belief that Farrar Elementary is a place where the dead refuse to rest. Former students and teachers have shared accounts that paint a vivid picture of a building steeped in unease. One retired teacher, who worked at Farrar in the 1980s, recalled an incident during a winter evening when she stayed late to grade papers. As she worked in her classroom, the radiator began to emit a rhythmic tapping, like Morse code from an unseen hand. Thinking it was a prank, she searched the room but found no one. The tapping grew louder, more insistent, until the lights flickered and went out, plunging her into darkness. When the power returned moments later, she found a single word scrawled on her chalkboard in shaky, childlike handwriting. Leave. She resigned shortly after, refusing to return to the school. Other stories speak of footsteps pacing the roof at midnight, of lockers opening and closing in unison, and of an oppressive silence that descends in certain hallways, as if the air itself is holding its breath. Paranormal investigators have descended on Farrar Elementary over the years, armed with EMF meters, thermal cameras, and audio recorders, hoping to capture evidence of the otherworldly. Their findings are as tantalizing as they are inconclusive. In 2015, a team from the Midwest Paranormal Society recorded what appeared to be a child's voice, whispering, "Don't go," in the school's basement, where no children had been present. Another investigation in 2020 captured a thermal image of a tall humanoid shape standing motionless in the gymnasium, despite the room being locked and empty. Skeptics argue these phenomena are the result of overactive imaginations or environmental factors. old pipes groaning, drafts stirring curtains, but even they struggle to explain the sheer volume of consistent reports spanning generations. Some theorize the school sits on a ley line, a mystical conduit that amplifies paranormal activity, while others believe the collective trauma of its history has imprinted itself onto the building, creating a psychic echo that replays endlessly. One of the most harrowing accounts comes from a former student, now in her 30s, who claims to have encountered a ghostly apparition in 2008. She was studying alone in a second-floor classroom, the only light coming from a desk lamp as a storm raged outside. The air grew heavy, the temperature plummeting despite the heater running. Glancing up, she saw a figure in the corner, a tall, gaunt man with a face obscured by shadow, his eyes glowing like twin embers. It wasn't just standing there, she later recounted, her voice trembling. It was watching me, like it knew me, like it wanted something from me. Paralyzed, she couldn't scream or move as the figure glided closer, its presence suffocating. Then, as lightning illuminated the room, it vanished, leaving behind only the faint smell of smoke and a desk overturned in the opposite corner. She fled the school that night and never returned, but the memory haunts her still, a scar on her psyche she cannot erase. More recently, a custodian working the night shift in 2023 reported an encounter that has added fresh fuel to Farrar's haunted lore. While cleaning the library, he heard what sounded like pages turning rapidly, as if someone were frantically flipping through books. Assuming a student had snuck in, he called out, but no one answered. The sound stopped, only to be replaced by a low, guttural hum that seemed to come from the walls themselves. As he approached the source, a shelf toppled forward, narrowly missing him, and books scattered across the floor, all open to the same page, a blank one. When he reported the incident, he was pale and shaking, insisting he'd seen a child's handprint appear on the wall before fading away. He quit the next day, joining a long list of staff who found the school's atmosphere too oppressive to endure. These stories, combined with the school's grim history, have cemented Farrar Elementary's place in the annals of haunted history. Yet, the true horror lies not in the spectacles of slamming doors or flickering lights, but in the quieter moments, the sudden chill that creeps up your spine in an empty hallway, the feeling of being watched when you're certain you're alone, the nagging sense that something unseen is waiting, just out of sight. Is Farrar Elementary a hotbed of paranormal activity, as some claim, or is it a monument to collective fear, where imagination and tragedy intertwine? The answer remains elusive, but one thing is certain. Those who walk its halls after dark rarely leave unchanged. In conclusion, Farrar Elementary's haunted reputation is a tapestry woven from eerie tales, unexplained phenomena, and first-hand accounts that chill the blood. From the spectral gaze of the watcher to the ghostly cries echoing through its corridors, the school's history is a labyrinth of fear that dares you to explore its depths. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, the stories of Farrar Elementary linger like a shadow, impossible to shake. If you've been gripped by this investigation into Farrar Elementary's haunted past, share your own ghost stories in the comments below. Have you ever felt the chill of the unknown? Subscribe for more spine-tingling content as we delve deeper into the world's most haunted locations, where the line between fact and nightmare blurs. And if you're brave enough, visit Farrar Elementary yourself, but don't linger too long after dark.